Right, so here we are. Now this time we're going to look at the bass end, and at this point most of you will probably hate me because you've worked so hard to get the bass end working, and you're really pleased with the fact that it's working and you'll be able to go and and I'm going to ask you to stop doing that and to do something different. Now the first thing is, again, we talked about tapping on the melody end. You notice again I'm tapping and not pressing them. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, we'll play Steeple Claydon again. What I'd like you to do is to try and only play the pa. That one. Don't play the low note, just play that, because that's the offbeat, and in dancing the offbeat is the most important thing. Now the way I started doing this myself was to make myself tap the bass button but not press it at all. Can you hear me tapping the button? It's not going anywhere, I'm just tapping it. That keeps me in time. So I'll just stay on the D chords there, don't go anywhere else, and just try making only the pa part of it, the offbeat, work. Now, if you've managed that, 100%, absolutely fantastic. Most people, when I suggest doing that after they've learnt the bass end, simply can't do it, or they say they can't. Well, there is no such word as can't. You can do it. It's just a matter of sheer concentration, okay? I'm just trying and trying and trying. And throughout all of that, I didn't play that note once. I tapped it like a percussive thing, and I was just going. And as soon as you do that, what you actually do is you give a little bit of a lift to the bellows at the same time, so it actually accentuates the offbeat all the way through the tune. Okay. And then of course we can bring the bass end back in, the bass button back in again for effect. Okay. So I'll try and show you what I mean, and then you can try and copy it. Okay, so I was bringing the bass button in when I wanted to accentuate parts of the tune, or just when I felt like it, to change the dynamics of the tune. And automatically I started putting in the third chord, which is the C chord of over there. Okay, so unfortunately, as soon as I start doing anything else, I put in a load of other stuff as well, which I'll come to. So what we'll do this time is, again, drive you mad. We'll try and play block chords, and it's more obvious where the chording is. Now, block chord, you play both at the same time. What you try and do is pick up parts of the melody and just emphasize them. You're not trying to play a rhythmic line at all. You're now going away from purely being a rhythmic accompaniment to doing something different, which will lead us on to playing bass lines, okay? In block chords is also very useful for increasing the volume when you're playing outside. So blocking the chords is very good, okay, for emphasis and for volume. So we've tried doing the offbeat. We've tried bringing in the bass note occasionally to emphasize things. Now we've tried blocking. Okay. Now the next thing is not to play the chords at all. I said this was going to drive you mad. But basically we're just going to play. So we're missing out the chords altogether. We're just using the bass buttons as a bass instrument. So we're not aiming for rhythm here, we're aiming almost for a bass line. It doesn't happen all the time, it comes in every now and again. So we've gone away from just going, which took forever to learn in the first place, to saying, well, you can do a lot more with this bass end than people originally think. And all of those techniques, some of them are very simple, like just blocking the chords, are simple. But when you go on to playing bass runs on it, then that's more tricky. But there are all sorts of things you can do. Just play around with them, okay? You can play a scale. I can't remember how to do it now. So you can play that at the same time on both ends. Okay, and the only way I can describe sort of learning different parts of the Melodeon is to have split personality. And actually, quite frequently what I do when I'm playing, if I want to develop a tune, is I put one side or the other onto autopilot. So you have to know the tunes pretty well, but if I'm going to be developing something on the bass end, the melody end has to keep going without me thinking too much about it. Okay, so we'll see what we can do with the bass end, and at the same time, don't forget we're trying things out on the melody end as well. Oh, madness, it's coming. Right, I'll leave you to go and take the paracetamol now. Have a go on the bass end. We'll do some more with that later.